You know what really hits you about America? It's not the Statue of Liberty or the skyscrapers. It's how fast any life inconvenience turns into a lawsuit. People here don't look at the world as a place to live, but as a playground for profit through lawyers. You trip on the sidewalk? Congrats. That's not your clumsiness. That's failure to maintain safety standards. And you're already imagining buying a new car with taxpayer money. It started with a decent idea of rights and turned into some absurd circus. We live in a country where you have to put caution hot on a coffee cup because some lady decided coffee shouldn't be hot and got millions for it. Seriously? It's coffee. It's meant to be hot. What's next? We're going to label knives sharp, snow cold, and pools wet? Oh wait, they already do that. We're so terrified of taking responsibility for our own stupidity that we've outsourced it to attorneys. This is a full-blown industry. There are entire law firms whose business model relies on finding people who are offended by life. It's like hunting for prey. You see someone trip in the supermarket, and instead of helping them up, you hand them your business card. Hey, you just hurt yourself? Great! Let's sue them for a fortune. Take our cut and blow the rest on something useless. We've raised a generation that has no idea how to deal with consequences. You spilled boiling water on yourself. That's your fault. You didn't look where you were walking. That's your fault. But no. The system taught us, if you lose, it means someone else is to blame, and you need to punish them in court. It's become our national sport. Basketball players play with a ball. We play with lawsuits. And the goal here isn't justice. The goal is to get a check that lets you do nothing for the next 5 years. But the worst part is we're all paying for this. You think this is free? Your insurance rates, the price of goods in stores, medical bills. It's all packed with a lawsuit tax. Companies bake in the risk of some genius deciding to sue them because they didn't read the microwave manual. We're robbing ourselves just to fund this legal chaos, simply because it's easier to sue than to admit, yeah, I'm an idiot and I should have been more careful. We're living in an era where common sense is the most expensive lawyer that nobody can afford. But let's dig deeper into this legal absurdity. You know what blows my mind the most? It's how lawsuits have become a form of gambling for people who are too lazy to work. It's a lottery where instead of buying a ticket for $1, you hire an attorney who works on contingency. It's the perfect scheme. You risk almost nothing, and the potential payout is a jackpot. We've reached a point where corporations are afraid of their own shadows. Have you seen instruction manuals for appliances in the States lately? They're as thick as War and Peace. It says everything. Don't dry your cat in the microwave. Don't use a toaster in the shower. Don't try to stop a lawnmower with your hands while it's running. And you think, who are the people this is written for? Then you realize it's not for us. It's for the lawyers. So that when some genius tries to see if a lawnmower works as a blow dryer, the company can say, look, we warned you on page 45 that it wasn't a great idea. This creates an atmosphere of perpetual fear. Doctors are terrified to prescribe the right treatment because what if the patient sues later, claiming the pill was too bitter? They order a mountain of useless tests, not to heal you, but to build a paper shield in case of a lawsuit. You go to see a doctor, and instead of looking you in the eye, they're scanning your medical history to see if you're a liability. Medicine has turned into bureaucratic self-defense. It's insane. We pay to be protected from ourselves, but all we end up doing is feeding a system that prevents us from getting actual help. And the best part is how we justify this with rights. I have a right to safety. Sure, buddy, you have a right to safety, but you don't have a right to a world that is sterile, padded, and safe for your incompetence. The world is a dangerous place where people trip, get burned, and make mistakes. It's called life. But we're trying to turn the entire planet into a safe space where table corners are rounded and entry into the world costs $300,000. If you still manage to hit that corner, we become a nation that doesn't look for ways to solve conflicts. We look for ways to monetize them. A conflict is no longer a problem to be fixed, it's an asset. Oh, he said something offensive? Great! That's $1 million in emotional distress. We've traded dialogue for a lawsuit filing. And while lawyers count their fees, we keep turning every human interaction into a potential courtroom drama. We've forgotten what forgiveness is, what compromise is, and what it's like, for once, to own your mistake and just say, sorry, I was wrong. But why apologize when you can sue and buy a new house? And in the end, we get a country that feels like a massive office where everyone is afraid of everyone else. Neighbors don't talk to neighbors because suddenly they might say something that could be interpreted as a hostile environment. Employers don't want to hire people because firing a problematic employee is a legal odyssey that will force you to sell a kidney just to cover the legal fees. We've killed the freedom of interaction because we made the cost of every mistake astronomical. Look where this is heading. We're turning into a nation where every move is a risk assessment. You want to do something cool? You want to build something new? First, hire 10 lawyers to check if someone might sue you in 3 years because your idea emotionally traumatized them. Creativity, risk, innovation, it all dies in the offices of law firms. We're so obsessed with safety that we've stopped living. We're just surviving, surrounded by legal minefields that we laid ourselves. And you know what's funniest? The real villains, the ones who actually ruin millions of lives, often get off scot-free. They have armies of lawyers who turn any law into toilet paper. But the system works against you, against the regular guy who just wanted to drink a coffee without signing a 10-page non-disclosure agreement and waiver of liability. So, the next time you're in America and you see a sign that says, "Caution, wet floor," don't laugh. It's not a warning for you. It's a note for the court trying to save the owner from your own clumsiness. We've all signed up for this insane contract. We've signed up for a life where common sense is a violation of the rules and success is a one lawsuit. And while we keep playing this game, there's only one real winner. The one sitting in the judge's chair and the one taking 30% of every one of your accidents. Welcome to the land of opportunity, where the main opportunity is suing your neighbor because they laughed too loudly at your own stupidity.